What up, peeps? Tony Baker here, and it's time for another episode of Gross Pointe Bake, man. We talk the numbers on this show, man. All numbers, we leaving the opinions out of it, man. We talking the numbers, what movies are selling, how many tickets, butts in the seats, how many people are buying albums, how many people are watching the shows. We talking the numbers here. Y'all know I'm a numbers fanatic. I be wanting to know, how much is this movie making? How many copies is this album selling? I've always been into this since I was a kid. So I wanted to do a show about it. Since I'm already into it, I might as well share it with the people, and hopefully y'all are into it too. If you're a fan of my podcast, Verbal Cardio, last week, I argued that Jay-Z was equally as well known as Beyoncé. If you know Beyoncé, you probably know Jay-Z, but people ripped me to shreds. They were like, nah, Beyoncé. Never mind the fact that they work together all the time, and Jay-Z has been featured on smash hits by Beyoncé. Y'all was like, man, forget all that. They know Beyoncé and not Jay, goddammit. I still feel like they know them both. But that's neither here nor there. Until we take a world poll, we'll never know. But it got me to thinking, like, yo, what are the sales comparison? What are the album sales comparison in the U.S. between Jay-Z and Beyoncé? Now I'm thinking the numbers. Like, what are their albums doing? So it's another Versus episode. Good points was made that, you know, people in the village might know Beyoncé just because, you know, they just know her and they're not Jay. But I was like, but they work together. At the time, I was like, that's a good point. But then I was thinking back, I was like, but they work together all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I don't know now. You know what I'm saying? But here we are. Let's do the numbers. Let's see what the album sales are talking about. Now, as I normally do in my versus battles here, like I did with Eddie Murphy and Jim Carrey, like I did with Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme. So I'm going to do their 5 biggest selling projects, and I'm going to compare those two. And then I'll do the total sales as well. I'm not counting their group or collaborative albums. So Destiny's Child won't be included. Watch the Throne with Jay-Z and Kanye West won't be included. And the Jay-Z R. Kelly albums will not be included. These are solo albums between Jay-Z and Beyonce. All right, let's get into it, man. And these are just U.S. sales. All right, here we go. Let's do Jay-Z first, since he debuted first. Number 5 for Jay-Z. His 5th best-selling album is The Dynasty. Rockefeller was on that album heavy. There was a lot of features on that album. It had the whole Rock on there, Memphis, Beanie Siegel. Everybody was on that album, but it was a Jay-Z album. It sold 2.5 million copies in the U.S. The Dynasty was a hit. It added another feather in Jay-Z's cap. He kept the legacy going. It's the Rock. Holler. Some people consider it a compilation. I do not, because Jay-Z is very much so the front man of that album. I still consider it a Jay-Z album. And when you look at any discography where they have Jay-Z's discography listed, The Dynasty is always included. But that's number 5, 2.5 million sold. Number 4, Jay-Z's most critically acclaimed album, The Blueprint. 2.7 million sold. The Blueprint is highly regarded as a classic album. It came out on 9/11/2001, the same day the towers fell. Unfortunately, that's when the album debuted. It was a critical smash. It really boosted Kanye West into the production, forefront, because he contributed a lot of beats on that album. A lot of people consider it a classic. I feel like it's in Jay-Z's holy trinity of, when I do Jay-Z's top 3 albums, for me, it's Reasonable Doubt, The Blueprint, and The Black Album. And I go back and forth on which album I like more, The Black Album or The Blueprint. Reasonable Doubt is my favorite Jay-Z album, but 2 and 3 always flip-flop between The Black Album and The Blueprint. But The Blueprint is his 4th best-selling album so far, 2.7 million sold. Number 3, Volume 3, The Life and Times of S. Carter, 3 million copies sold. This was the album that had Big Pimpin' on there and, other hits like that. It sold 3 million copies. It's obviously one of his best sellers. I always felt like that album was going to do more than it did, given the hype surrounding Jay-Z at that time. I thought that it might have did more numbers than that. But this was at a time when albums were heavily bootlegged. So I feel like that always fudged the numbers a little bit when it came to hip-hop albums, because the bootleggery at that time was at an all-time high. The Life and Times of Sean Carter, 3 million sold. That's his third best-selling album. Number 2, The Black Album. The Black Album, 3.5 million sold. The Black Album was allegedly his final album before he retired. He didn't keep his promise. He never really retired. He came back, and the blueprint would have been a great send-off had it been his true last album. The Black Album was fire. It's one of my favorite Jay-Z albums, easily. It had hit after hit on there. It's one of those albums you can just put on and let it play. Several producers on the album. That's the first album where I got to know Jay-Z as a human being, and it was a good time. The Black Album was fire, and if you can't respect that, your whole perspective is whack. Maybe you love me if I fade to black. I remember that line. I see people in the chat keep bringing up American Gangster, and American Gangster will not be in this top 5. Sorry, guys. Number 1, Jay-Z's best-selling album to date, Hard Knock Life. 5.4 million copies sold. That is his best-selling album so far. And, Hard Knock Life features a Hard Knock Life. The title track is on there. Money, Cash, Hoes, If I Should Die. It was a smash with Jay-Z. That's when Jay-Z became Jay-Z. That's when he exploded. His first 2 albums before that, Reasonable Doubt initially just went gold, and then he followed that up with In My Lifetime. And they did okay sales. It was nothing crazy like that. But Hard Knock Life came out, blew those sales away, and that's when it was like, yo, Jay-Z is the guy. He's the guy right now. So Hard Knock Life is Jay-Z's best-selling album. I remember it came out the same day as Quimini by Outkast, The Love Movement by A Tribe Called Quest, Brand Nubian also came out that same day. It was like a Super Tuesday damn near. And also, these sales I'm giving you, these are just U.S. sales. These are just U.S. sales. So everybody relax. These are just U.S. sales here. I'm going by the RIAA, so Recording Industry Association of America. So that's what he did domestically with these 5 albums. So Jay-Z, we got a total of 17.1 million copies sold of his top 5 albums. His best first week in sales was 680,000 copies first week, and that was for his album Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come was an album where he was like, I'm out of retirement, yo. I lied to you. I'm not really retired. And so he came out with Kingdom Come. Everybody wanted in on the album. It sold 680,000 copies first week. That means his album went gold the first week. But a lot of people wasn't really rocking with Kingdom Come like that. I feel like it ranks pretty low in his discography by the masses. And so those are his numbers. Let's get to Beyonce. Beyonce's top 5. Number 5, Lemonade. Now, mind you, the numbers always get a little foggy because the more albums you put out in this day and age, they got the streaming numbers in there. So it kind of makes the numbers a little bit more blurry. But that's neither here nor there. We ain't trying to hear all that. So Lemonade, 3 million copies. Lemonade was, I think it might be Beyonce's most critically acclaimed album so far. Lemonade was just, it came out, it hit the scene in a major way. She gave us visuals for all the songs on the album. It was an event, and Lemonade was a smash. 3 million copies sold. Great album. I love I'm Sorry on there, and it was a good ass time. And they had women out here like, yes, girl, speak your truth. Talk about what's real. You know what I'm saying? It was going down. Lemonade was a smash. Number 4 is Beyonce's 4 album, ironically. Her album 4 is number 4, and it sold 4 million copies. You know what's crazy? This album is number 4. It's called 4, and it sold 4 million copies. Is that why Jay-Z called his album 444? Is that the real meaning behind it? No?
No.
It could be.
Isn't Jay-Z born December 4th?
He is.
Isn't Beyonce born September 4th? I think.
I don't know when her birthday
It's
is.
September
I just know
something.
she a Virgo. That's all I got.
I think they got something to do with the 4s though, but
And then what's the third 4?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me see Beyonce birthday. I think it's September.
Yeah. Her birthday is September 4th. So 4.
Yep, September 4th.
So we got 2 4s. Where that extra 4 coming in? I'm telling you, it's for this. It's because 4 is her 4th best-selling album. It's number 4 on this list, and it sold 4 million copies. 4 is very prominent. Oh, the wedding anniversary? Piss. All right, man, forget y'all, man. The Chatsworth is saying that, the other 4 is for the wedding anniversary. Anyway.
All right, I'm going to read this. This is straight from Jay-Z's mouth.
Sabrina scared the shit out of me, but keep going.
444 is a song that I wrote, and it's the crux of the album, just right in the middle of the album. And I woke up literally at 4:44 in the morning, 4:44 a.m. to write this song. So it became the title of the album and everything. It's the title track because it's such a powerful song, and I just believe one of the best songs I've ever written. So it's because he woke up at 4:44 to write the song.
Wow. So Jay-Z is wrong, y'all. Jay-Z is wrong. He don't know what the hell he's talking about, man. It's because of what I just found out just now. Don't listen to the artist that created it. Listen to me right here, right now. It's because the 4 album is her 4th best-selling album and it sold 4 million copies. Anyway, we're moving on to number 3. Number 3, Beyonce's best-selling album is the Beyoncé album. It's called Beyoncé. Beyonce sold 5 million copies. I forget where the Beyonce album falls within her discography in terms of timeline, and I forget what songs are actually on this album, but apparently it was a smash. You know what I'm saying? 5 million copies ain't nothing to sneeze at. You know what I'm saying? That's a good ass time right there. It's certified 5 times platinum. Beyonce does it again. Number 2, I Am Sasha Fierce. Number 2, that's her number 2 album, 6 million copies sold. I Am Sasha Fierce clearly was a hit. 6 million sold, ain't nothing to sneeze at. It's out here, it's wild, it's in the mix. That is her 2nd best-selling album and number 1, numero uno, by a little bit. Actually, it's super close to number 2. Dangerously in Love. Dangerously in Love, her debut album. Because Dangerously in Love hit the scene when people were still actually buying the albums. And me personally, it's my favorite Beyonce album. Dangerously in Love did over 6 million copies sold, certified as 6 times platinum. And, it proved that Beyonce could go solo. It was a solo smash and came out guns blazing. And her biggest song on the album, Crazy in Love, featured her husband, who made, had some notoriety worldwide because he was on the song. I just want to throw that in there. But let's total up Beyonce's top 5. 24.4 million sold for her top 5. 24.4 million sold for her top 5. Her biggest debut week was actually the album y'all are asking about, B-Day. B-Day did 541,000 copies first week. And those numbers are leaning more towards what's the word I'm looking for? Non-digital streaming. These are like hard copies. So I was trying to shave down the streaming numbers as much as I could to get to like the real like first week winner. I know Beyonce, one of the albums that she dropped, I think it was Beyonce, had a higher debut week but lower actual album sales. Because sometimes they'll give you the streaming numbers and they give you the actual album sales. So I gave the actual album sales to B-Day, which is 541,000 copies first week. So Beyonce won. She won by a cool, what's that, 7 million? Damn near 7 million. Now, let's go even further with these numbers. So Jay-Z has a total of 25 million albums sold in his discography compared to Beyonce's 29 million sold. If you add in Jay-Z's work with R. Kelly, Kanye West, and so forth, Linkin Park, those albums, that's coming in at 9 million for Jay-Z. So Jay-Z has a total of 34 million copies sold. Beyonce, if you add in Destiny's Child, we're looking at 14 million on that tip. She has a total of 43 million sold. So Beyonce is beating Jay-Z's total 34 million to 43 million. Beyonce is the winner in the household with albums sold. And also, I was tallying up other artists, and I was just like, let me see what Eminem is doing. These Eminem numbers is crazy. I was like, God damn, man, this dude is just... Anyway, but Beyonce is the winner in the Carter household. She like, I outsold you. Now go cook me some breakfast. And so there it is, man. Jay-Z remains one of the best-selling hip-hop artists of all time. I think he's underneath Eminem. I think Eminem might be the only rapper that's a straight rapper. Drake probably passed him by now, but I think Eminem is still the top dog in the hip-hop realm. In the realm of R&B, is Beyonce still considered R&B? I don't know. Like nowadays, it's harder to define Beyonce's sound. I think she's more pop now. I feel like she was more R&B when she first did a solo run, and then it became what it became. And once you go pop, that's gonna open you up to so much more. And I think Beyonce was like, I'm going pop, baby. So Beyonce is the winner in this versus. Were you surprised at the results of this list? Were you surprised at each individual's top 5? Also, let me know what your favorite Jay-Z album is. Let me know what your favorite Beyonce album is. Let me know in the comments section below. And also, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Dangerously in Love is my favorite Beyonce album. My favorite Jay-Z album remains his first one, his debut, Reasonable Doubt. Let me know in the comment section below. And I did not like the R. Kelly Jay-Z albums at all. I didn't like those albums at all. I'm gonna just be real. I'm gonna keep it 110%. I didn't like the R. Kelly Jay-Z albums whatsoever. Let me know what other verses y'all want me to do in the future. I love doing the verses episodes too. So let me know who you want to see battle one another. I'm always open to suggestions. So please suggest a way, please. And I'll cook up the numbers for you and all that good stuff. Anyway, y'all, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Gross Pointe Bake. We out.